Hello guys, KP Shamino here with a new video for Diablo 4 Season 1. And in this video I'm going to show you guys when the Whirlwind Barbarians start to be very strong. So I'm now at this point. There are some key things that you need to do to reach this point. And I will say that to you guys that you know that. I will show you guys the aspects that I'm using, the skill tree of course once again, and now I'm good. So I can now destroy tier 3. I will show you guys that at the end. So now it's just leveling up a little bit, get some more Paragon points, do capstone 70, level 70 I think it is for tier 4. And then it's almost done, then you just need to level up all the stuff, get some better gear, ancestral gear. But let's get started first with the start. So I'm going to show you guys the talent tree. And then the Paragon tree. The starting Paragon tree, not the end. I'm just going to say to you guys, these are the glyphs that you need to have. That are the glyphs that are really good. And this is a starting that you need to watch. Because Paragon makes a lot of difference. So first of all, let's have a look to the tree. I will post the planner under this video by the way too. I'm going really quick. So you start Lunging Strine, you take all those nodes. Then you take Whirlwind, you go to Violent Whirlwind, take this one, Pressure Point, 3 points. So that's basic core. Then you come here, you take this one, Imposing Presence, 3 points. Then you take of course Rallying Cry, you go to here. Then you take Iron Skin. Why Iron Skin? Because I use the aspect that you're unstoppable. So I'm almost crowd control immune, and that works really well for me. Then you go to this. This is going to heal you a little bit. It's going to give a barrier. Very strong skill. I always take it because at the end game you will need it. Then we take Challenge Shout. You go to this one to still get the furry up. Then we come here, Warcry. You go to here. 3 points here, 3 points here, 3 points here. Then we come here, 3 points, 3 points, 3 points. That's very easy. Then we take 1 point here, a Hamstring. Why? Because it's going to slow the enemies and then you can do a lot of more damage. I'm doing stunt now too, with the new aspect, stunt on the bludgeoning weapon too. So that's something that is working too. But I took this one. Maybe in the future I just can skip Hamstring because they nerfed it. Then we go further to the south, 3 points here. While using two-handed weapon, you deal 15% increased critical strike damage. So that's a no-brainer. Then you take this one, because I'm using now a bludgeon weapon on my Whirlwind, because I found one. But it's really good, I need to say. And then you take this one. I don't want to spend 3 points in it. Why? Because I don't have them. But you can see it here. Skills using bludgeoning weapon have up to 10% chance to stun the enemy for 3 seconds. So you can go a little bit further if you want to get some points away. But I would, if you want to go 3 on 3, I can understand that. Take here 2 points from the health. Health is not that important. It's really strange, but it's not that important in this game. If you got around 10,000, you will be okay the entire game. So that's a setup. Then the Paragons. And that's something that is very important. So I will show you guys in this video too. I forgot one thing. So what is... I forgot the most important thing. So at this moment, when is Whirlwind becoming very strong? If you can go to Unbridled Rage. Core skill deals 130% increased damage. That means that Whirlwind is more than doubled in DPS. That's the key point. But the main problem is it comes with 100% more furry cost. I will show you guys that what setup that I'm using. I'm still not there. There is still a lot that I can do to improve, but it works. So this is like now the bottleneck. It works. You can improve it as much as you want. That you can turn around like 10 seconds without hitting anything. But that depends on you. That's your playstyle. I cannot say that to you, but now it works. It's not that you turn around 2 times that you're done. No, it works, and I will show you guys that in the gameplay. Paragon, very important. What is important in Paragon? If you are lacking furry, you need to go with this. I still not got it, because I can do it without it, but it's possible if the rolls are not good on the items, because you need to have very good rolls on the... Yeah, not very good rolls. You need to have rolls on certain items to spend less furry. But if you don't have it, this is the one that you need to have. So you need to go right away with 2 glyphs. Why? for this. So you see that for every 5 dexterity purchased within range, you deal 1.5 critical strike damage more. The radius that you are using glyphs gets bigger when you level them up. So that means everything that depends on a certain stat is the first glyph that you start leveling up. Because if the radius gets bigger, you get a chance to get more stats nodes, and it's going to buff the glyph. That's something that I did wrong on my first character. There are 2 that you need to use in this build that got that. That's this one. Exploit. So you can see for every 5 dexterity purchased within the race, in range, or this one. So I would suggest that one of those 2 things you take. I probably got now exploit here, yes. Because I want to... You need to start that as first to leveling up. So this one need to be the first to maximum level. Then other ones that you are going to need to use in the future, that's this one, Martial, really good. So you can see it after casting shout skill, the active cooldown of every other shout skill is reduced by 1.2%. Then what is the next one? This is something that you can use too, territorial in the future. That's a good one too. A lot of people use them. This one is a very good one too. This on bowling. Bowler. So this one you can use too, and then I need to have a look. Is there a 4th one? There is one more, I think, but that are the most important in my opinion. Might is a very good one too, that you can level. But if I would go, I would go with red, exploit, martial. What was the other one? This one, yeah. This and Bowler, that are the main ones. So be sure that you do that and start at dexterity. So how do you do it? So you start here, you come over here, you take all those nodes. Then you come here, you need to have 25 dexterity in the neighborhood, and that's the start. And then you're okay. If you don't have the exploit and you don't have the rat, you can throw something else in it. Be sure that you always got a glyph equipped, because they are very strong. So that's very important that you know that. Then the next thing, now I'm going to talk about the gear, and that's very important. But first I'm going to start what I'm applying. So I got now Whirlwind, I got my bludgeoning weapon, that's my 2-handed mace on it. And here I got my 2 swords. I'm using at the moment the Butcher Cleaver too, because I like it. It's really good. Because I like the slow, because I get it's a lot easier if the enemies are slowed. The fear is not so fun, but I'm just testing it. If you don't have it, just get another 1-handed sword. It's not mandatory, it's just a little bit testing, because it procs a lot. If you see on it's lucky strike, so lucky hit. And if you see here, I got 21% lucky hit chance on my Whirlwind, so it's proccing a lot. And that's it. So that's what you need to do. So you just need to push S and then middle mouse wheel, and then you can assign a weapon. And then the gear, and that's important because I'm now using a KHR2 that is really good. I need to say that's really good for my Whirlwind. So the helmet. I'm going to talk now about the things that you need to have, that you can keep turning around, and that you got enough furry. Because that's very important. That's the second most important thing after Unbridled Rage. So here on the helm, you guys can see right way cooldown reduction. That's very important. Why is it very important? Because this shout, Rallying Cry, is the main source of your furry. So if you can get the cooldown down on this, you can use it a lot more. So you can see it's already from 25 to 22. Another thing, that's not the only cooldown reduction that I got. Here it's 4.4%, and I still can go higher. This is a cooldown reduction too. So this is 4.7 again. That's the only 2 that I got. So you can only roll it on a helm and an amulet. But that's not all. There is another thing that is very important. You can already see it here. Fury cost reduction. That's a big one. So you guys can see here. Here I got 13%. On the boot, you can roll a 2. And I think that you can roll a 2 on the helmet, but I'm not sure. I think that the helmet is possible too. So if I go now to my Whirlwind, you guys can see I'm only spending 42 per second. So you need to understand the base is 25. And then it doubles on the Unbridled Rage. But I'm now on 42. So not 50, 42. And I think you can bring it down. On my main, it was 36 or 35. So that's a lot, because you are not spending that much furry cost. So be sure that you got the same like me. Otherwise, you cannot do what I'm doing at the moment. So helmet, amulet, and this one. A little bit later in tier 4, you can get resource generation on the rings too. Is that going to be needed? I don't think so. Another thing that I want to show you guys is this. There is a cage heart that is really good. So you guys can see, after spending 170 of your primary resource, that's furry, your next attack stuns enemies hit for 3 seconds. That's a good one, but this is the wrong one, because I was talking, it's this one that I need to talk about. So this one, yes, every 5 seconds while above 60% life, core skill cost 200 life instead of your primary resource. Skills that consume life deals 21% increased damage. So that means every 5 seconds, if you're above 60% of life, you're consuming 200 life instead of furry. So that's a big one. That's a really good one. So that means on that moment, you don't need to spend 42 furry. And I see that because I couldn't do what I do now on the internal. And that's just because I got here the caged heart, this one. So that's a very good one. Try to get it. And you do 21% more damage too. So that's it for the furry generation. For the other things, it's just the same. So the chest, I got this one. I like the new aspect. But first the helmet. There I got the barrier. So that if you kill an elite or if you hit an elite, every 30 seconds you get a barrier. Be sure that you don't use Iron Skin and hit an elite, because barriers, they don't go together. It's only one of the two. Then the next one, this is the Relentless Berserker aspect that I got here. Here I got a very important one too. That's one that you need to have, otherwise you don't have Unstoppable on Iron Skin. Iron Skin grants Unstoppable and 18% damage reduction. It's a big one. It's the second CC breaker that you got. Here I got a very simple one, movement speed, and then I just put the Codex of Power. Critical Strike grant 8% movement speed. Always good. And then the Amulet, Fury cost reduction, cooldown reduction, damage reduction from close enemies. And here I put this Obedience on. Very important. It's not the maximum roll, but this is something that you need to have. In the future, I'm going to switch that around, because I want to get Edgemaster on the amulet, and I want Limited Rage. I already got that one here, the aspect ready, but I'm not going to use it in tier 3 because they are rare. So it's this one that is very important. So let's have a look. Aspect of the Limited Rage. That's something that is very important. Okay, sorry for that. Yeah, that's the amulet where I was now. And then the rings, very simple. Here you need to get the Echoing Fury. What do you want here? Critical strike, vulnerable damage, critical strike chance, critical strike damage, live on it. This is the next one here. Here you need to get Bolt Chieftain. You can now get it from, what is it? The reward from chapter 1. So it's now in the Codex of Power. And then for the weapons, so I got this one. That's the one that I crafted in one of my videos. It's a very good one. So here I got Dire Whirlwind. Still need to find the one that is not from the Codex of Power. So this is the mace that I'm using. Vulnerability, critical strike damage, damage to bleeding enemies, damage to close enemies. That's all good. So that's something that you can get on it. Here I got a sword. Once again, try to find the right modifiers. That's the most important, because this yeah, it's a little bit statistics, because most of the time you use this. So this is a little bit more important, but this is just to get the Fury going with Lunging Strike. But they are a little bit like statistics too. So the main DPS weapon, you need to get as much as DPS per second. That's the priority that you want to look for. So I'm using here the Butcher Cleaver. It's not needed. You can just take a second sword. Why a second sword? I will show you guys it right away. And then here I got the Edge Master on, but that's something I want on the amulet. And I want here this one on, but I'm waiting a little bit further. So that's the setup, guys. I cannot say more. Did I say something or forgot I something? That's always possible. I will show you guys now really quick how it plays. And why it's so good. So we are going to do this one. Let's have a look. Is there not too much shit that is coming to me? So let's do a Nightmare Dungeon, 4 levels higher than I am at the moment, or 3 levels higher. And then you can see why this is the bottleneck. Now it's going to pop off because the Unbridled Rage is so good. 135%, just more DPS. That's so insane. But of course you need to keep it up. So what you need to do is, I most of the time go in with this. So with this Rallying Cry, or I just go in with Lunging Strike. But you will see right away why it's now so good. Normally you kill everything really fast, even the boss at the end, because Whirlwind is not really a typical single target. So here we go. So you can see right away, and that's the exploit that is pumping right away vulnerability. And you can see I can turn for a long time around. So it's not that I stop right away, because my shout is now gone. And you can see there are crits pumping 7. I had one time 22,000. There is the fear of the Butcher is X. Normally I just gather him a little bit more on. Here we go. And that's why it's so good. So now finally 1-2 hits. And now we are farming. That's the first time that you can say with this build, now we start to farm. Now we can pump the levels up. We can do Nightmare Dungeons really quick. And then it's almost time to go to tier 4. But the pity is there is not really more than this. That's the problem. So here I got, of course, yeah, that's a little bit cheating that I do now at the moment. Because this is a very good shrine. Killing everything on sight almost. Okay, a little bit more and then I'm going to end the video. First time without Fury, because I'm playing like a noob. I need to pick up something here, I think. Ah, yeah. Okay, but that was it, guys. So be sure that you do those things. So the glyphs are very important. This one is a game changer, Unbridled Rage. Be sure that you do what I did to keep the Fury up. And then now you just need to level up. Get your Paragon points, do Renown and all that stuff. And now there is not a lot, there is not that much going to change now in the future. So this is the base blueprint for the end game build. Thanks for watching, have fun, bye bye.